A while back, someone asked, actually, more than one person has asked, are you still with INTUIT? I guess because I had been doing about 70 flights in a year and on weekdays and always at the beach or performing or whatever, it was probably pretty apparent. How can you still be full-time employed and be doing all this traveling? And well, the answer is I'm doing the traveling, just not employed. Yeah, I do remember having one meeting pretty much on a beach. We went to this really beautiful beach in Florida and I had to take a meeting, so I was sitting there kind of on a picnic table. Everybody else is in the water. I had gone in the water, but then I had to sit there with the headphones on, and I thought, this is terrible. I should be out in the ocean, but nope, I'm taking a meeting, and it was like a really boring meeting too. That made it even worse. So yeah, short answer long, that period of my life has come to an end, and it was something I never meant to stay that long, but just stuff kept happening and I kept staying. So let's talk about it, or let's have me talk about it, and I'll talk about the good, the bad, and actually there wasn't really any ugly. I mean, it was mostly good. It was like 90% good. But I'm gonna discuss, full disclosure, I'll discuss everything. So this is something that probably won't be on public YouTube or anything for a while. So it'll just be probably Facebook or something. So just friends. I mean, this isn't, you kind of don't want to talk too bad about a former company. But I mean, and again, it's not that bad. Mostly good. How it began? It actually began before I even started working at the company. I didn't really know about the name INTUIT. That's something they've been working on, getting more people to know, not just TurboTax and not just QuickBooks, but the name of the company that makes TurboTax and QuickBooks. So they really started promoting INTUIT instead of just the products. Smart move. So what happened is I went in for a survey. I had been doing freelance at the time, and I went in for a survey because I saw it online. I think I got emailed, and I said, yeah, that sounds good. I had been using their product Mint, which they acquired from another company, and I liked the product. I really thought it did a great job, and it was free. 4 letters in a row that I really like to see, free. And I love Mint, so when they said come in and take a survey, like $100, $150, a gift card, but if it's Amazon, it's the same as cash. So I said, okay, I will go in and I will take your survey and, give me the gift card. So I think it was probably a Tuesday afternoon, and maybe 2018 or 17, I don't remember the year, I went down there and I actually even booked a ticket for a movie theater, a movie theater ticket. So when I finished the survey, I could go watch a movie for a couple hours and then miss all the miss all the traffic coming back. So I thought, that's a smart plan. I'm going to do that. And it was one of those seats where you book in advance and you sit there. And if I had only made it to the theater. Now the meeting was, I don't know, 10 or 11. I think it was maybe around noon or something. It was after traffic had died down. So my commute actually to get down there wasn't that bad. I was going from Pleasanton to Mountain View, and it was perfectly fine. So I shared a few things that actually during the meeting or the survey that could be better. One was net worth. I thought, you guys need net worth, and they finally did net worth. But I mean, it was probably a lot of suggestions. I'm not saying it was just mine that did it, but maybe that put them over the edge. But they finally did do net worth graph, and I thought, that's cool. That's what I wanted. It's one of the things in fact, that's why I started using Mint, was to track net worth. The second thing was splitting up ownership. So if 2 people share the ownership of a property, you could split the percentage like 50-50 or something like that, so it wouldn't mess up your net worth, because if you didn't own it. So you could basically have it automated. It's complicated, but they never did that. They never actually did that in all the years. And it's too bad, but I gave them my advice. So afterwards, I still had time. I was going to go to the movie theater, but then I thought I could probably beat traffic coming home. So I got in the car. I just said, you know what? I already spent the money, so it was like $20 for the ticket, but So I got in the car and I tried to beat traffic, and that worked till I got about to Hayward, and then boom, bumper to bumper. And I thought, man, I don't miss this. I don't want to ever go back to this again. This is bad. So it was very slow to get home, and I just thought, I am so glad I'm not doing this every day. Yeah, let's wait a year and see what happens then. So beginning of 2019, I had been teaching or tutoring English and that was going pretty well, just not a lot of hours, and some of the students were, one was a nightmare. But when I got an offer from a recruiter to, like, I don't know, interview for Intuit, I said, okay, even though it's in Mountain View, I remember that drive. Yeah, I said, okay. So I did the first round. That was probably maybe phone. And then another round, maybe phone again. I don't remember. This was before we did a lot of like Zooming and stuff like that. But the third round was like in person. So once again, had to like go out there and meet with people, met with a couple people. And it was for a contracting position. But I remember one guy, he was just like, he was a cool guy, just a really cool guy. And he just said, he's actually the only other Caucasian guy on the team, not that it matters, but he just was. And he just said, hey, it's a contracting position. You guys got nothing. I don't think he was even directly hiring. It's just in the same big team. He said, you got nothing to lose. Just do it, man. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But so I always appreciated that. I always remember that, the kind of that, what do you call it? Validation? Vouching. He vouched for me even though he didn't know me. So yeah, the recruiters got back to me and they said, they got a position. So I'd be working for the recruiting company, sort of contracting through them to work it into it. It's all kind of weird. The price hourly was a little less than I think originally quoted, but I don't know. And I guess I could say it now. I have no NDAs. I think they quoted $80 an hour, and yeah, I think it turned out to be like $60 an hour or something like that. So, and that's still fine, but yeah, you got to pay all the taxes and your own benefits and all that stuff. So it was good. I mean, the thing about these jobs in Silicon Valley is they usually pay a lot higher than other areas because of the cost of living there. So they have to get people enticed to going there, either a long commute or buying a very expensive house there or renting a very expensive apartment. So it was actually kind of cool getting that money. It just meant, okay, now you're going to have to put up with that drive. And that was as bad as it sounds like it is. And to be honest, I almost said no. I'd kind of wanted to keep freelancing, and I knew I'd have to give up some of the stuff I was doing. I had been working with a company in Concord, and I was getting a few hours from them, even going into work there. It was always easier to go in for the entire day. But yeah, the money was pretty good, and it was a tough call because I was kind of having fun hanging out with neighbors, going to wineries and stuff like that. I remember, like, even when the offer came, I was at a winery or something when I got saw the email, and I thought, I don't know, I'm really liking this freedom, but I really like money too. Yeah. And obviously I accepted the offer. They made me an offer I couldn't refuse, well, I didn't refuse.